Hi guys, so I'm now working on my 8th kill team, and as you can see it's the Gellerpox infected, but as if they weren't creepy enough, I want to turn them into a kill team of killer clowns. So this awesome box was sent to me by Adam over at Speedy Trading, and as you can see they do a whole variety of Warhammer stuff and other kind of games. So they sell new box sets as well as sort of old ones, and they also buy your stuff, which is pretty cool. So go check them out guys, there's a link in the description. speedytrading.co.uk. So this set contains 23 miniatures, which is probably one of the larger of the kill teams, but obviously a lot of these figures are, well, little bugs and little things, so they'll be fun. So yeah, getting the usual, the tools all nice and ready, some cutters, a scraper and some glue. Simple case, obviously usual kind of thing. Cut out from the sprue, being nice and careful not to actually cut the miniature, and try and get as close to the body part or whatever part it is as possible, as obviously this will save time later on by well, having to clean the model up. So I'm starting with this figure just because I just love the size of them, and obviously the big old meat cleaver. Yeah, I think that's very fitting for a killer clown. And yeah, this guy is just, he's just big and chunky, a bit like me. So yeah, starting off, we obviously go through and cut away any well, any nibbly knobbly bits, any bits that were attached to the sprue, and any sort of mould lines. There's only a couple of parts to this figure, so obviously a very quick one to actually assemble. Yeah, there we go, job done. So obviously he does have his well, a head to go with him, and I certainly could have used this head and just obviously painted it to look like a clown, but I thought, well, I've got a 3D printer, so why not make use of it and print things off. So I'm still using the Anycubic Photon Mono X, absolutely lovely printer. I've had it for a good year and a bit, and yeah, it's been wonderful. And the thing I love best about it is, with this head, I actually printed off, I think about 3 different sizes. Just because I wasn't too 100% sure what size I wanted. So yeah, printed off 3, only sort of small differences between them. And then I chose the one that I preferred the look of, or the size wise. And yeah, I think he looks pretty cool. Definitely, well, definitely a clown head. But as I want to give him a bit more of a clown feel, I also printed out a clown boot. I was thinking about doing 2, but then I thought, well, no, that kind of might distract it too much. So I think it looked would look even funnier with just the 1 clown boot. So obviously the foot that I have taken off, I am putting that in my Bix box, or Bits box even. Sorry guys, I still have got a bit of a, well, I don't know, a cold or something or other. So my throat and brain aren't quite working as they should be just yet. But you kind of know what I mean. Anyway, so muddling through. Yeah, keeping the foot, and obviously I wanted to close in this little gap. So rather than using the green stuff that I've got, because obviously that's quite expensive, I've got this other sort of milliput stuff, which comes in a lot larger sort of tubes. Great for filling holes, but not as detailed as using the green stuff. So this guy has a couple of heads obviously spawning out of his arm. And yeah, obviously I'm going to make them clowns as well. So I'm going to make, well, give them some clown noses. I've got this lovely box of little, well, ball bearings, which I've never really used. I've had these for a good year or so. And yeah, I think these will make for perfect noses. Well, they would do if I could get them to stay on. Yeah, sometimes some things are a bit tricky. And yeah, these balls just kept falling off and flying out between the tweezers. Or, as you can see there, getting stuck to the tweezers. The good old thing, perseverance, gets there in the end. I can't remember how many tries it took me, but yeah, finally they will stay. And yeah, obviously worth doing. Obviously the only problem was obviously the amount of glue that I put on. Some of the glue did actually take away from part of the faces and how they looked. Not too bad, because obviously these aren't proper faces, these are just spawning out of this dude's arm. So yeah, the fact they lost a little bit of detail wasn't too bad. And if you've seen a lot of my recent videos, you know my painting technique by now. I am just Slapchop happy. But this time, rather than doing the dry brushing in a grey, I've got like a sandy sort of yellowish colour. Yeah, I thought I'd have a go at doing that, just sort of mix it up a little bit, just because obviously then the contrast paints that go over the top will be affected by the colour underneath. Well, that, and I am sort of running out of grey, so another good reason to have a little go at trying a different colour. And I'm still so tempted to actually paint up a kill team looking like this, and then just leave them, just so they're out of some like black and white horror movie. They are just, yeah, in black and white. So with the colour for the skin, I'm going to have a go at mixing a couple of colours. because I've used this Crusader skin before, but it does come out quite well, quite dark for a skin. So that's why I'm adding this sort of orangey colour to it. Again, just having a little bit of a play around really, just to see what sort of variations of colours I can get. So the two different paints kind of mixed in sort of well. Obviously these are made for different brands, so their sort of consistency and how they make them are going to be a little bit different. But yeah, the colour come out sort of really well to begin with. Definitely looking lighter than if I just used the skin tone on its own. But it does come out a bit thicker looking than normal. Normally, obviously, these kind of contrasty paints come out quite sort of opaque, which is obviously why I like using them. So then you can sort of see the dry brushing underneath. But it almost went on quite well, quite thick looking. So it did sort of distract or took away a lot of obviously the dry brushing that was underneath. And the paint I'm using now is the Burgundy Dipping Inks from Green Stuff World. And as you can see, this definitely goes on a lot sort of wetter looking. And a bit obviously say more transparent, so you can see all that lovely dry brushing underneath. Yeah, so with the skin, I wasn't obviously 100% happy with it, but I wasn't too sure what I was going to do with it at first. I had considered basically stripping all the paint off and changing it, and then I thought, well, no, why not just have a go at doing some sort of dry brushing over the top, just sort of vary the colours looking, and yeah, using the sort of pink. Again, usual sort of dry brushing technique, get loads of paint on the brush or get it covered, then pretty much take most of it off, and then yeah, just go over and sort of catch all the raised areas. And yeah, I was kind of pleased with how this turned out, mainly because I didn't really want to sort of restart this thing, just because I kind of liked the colour. I just didn't like the fact that I couldn't see much of the shadows and sort of difference in the colour. So yeah, did a bit of dry brushing. Yeah, very happy with how it turned out. So happy, in fact, obviously once it was all dried, I then went over and did a little bit of dry brushing with some yellow. Again, just to mix up sort of the tones in his skin. And yeah, very happy with the results. So I may well be sort of trying to do this a bit more, especially when you obviously want to get these kind of creatures that do have a variety of skin tone colours in them. Doing the dry brushing, it's something I've not really done a whole lot of, to be honest. But yeah, no, I certainly enjoyed doing it. And so using the sort of difference in the colours, I think it came out quite well. So definitely seen more dry brushing once I've painted something. And obviously this guy is quite veiny. Obviously he hasn't skipped leg day either. He's got quite nice calves there. But yeah, lots of veins popping up. So with these, obviously I'm going over with a bit of the red contrast paint. But because it is quite bright and vibrant, I'm sort of dulling it down just by, well, sticking my thumb over it. So it obviously takes away that harshness and kind of also blends it into the rest of the colour, which is pretty cool because obviously you can still see it, but it's not, it's not as harsh. So yeah, pleased with how that came out as well. So as you can tell, I really am loving painting, and yeah, it's the best thing ever. Can't get enough of it. So yeah, with his big old chopper here, I didn't want it to look sort of too neat and tidy. So I thought I'd have a go at adding some rust to it and making it look like, well, something you certainly wouldn't want to get cut with. So I'm simply just sort of dabbing on a variety of different shades of brown, just sort of mixing up some dark ones, some light ones. And then I've got a rust wash that I'm going to liberally apply all over it. And again, obviously this stuff's just great because obviously it really does work, well, works how it's meant to, which is pretty cool. So then once that's all dried, I'm then doing a little bit of dry brushing with some silver, just trying to catch some of the edges. Again, just so it sort of glistens a little bit, but it does still look, the majority of it, as a rust bucket. So yeah, so if you were to get hit by this, you would need a tetanus jab. Saying that, if you get hit by this, you're probably going to lose a leg anyway. Yeah, so really pleased with how he's coming on. And obviously a couple of the last little bits here, and that's a bit of blood. As obviously this guy, well, he has killed a few people in the past. So one swing of this, and I think you, yeah, you would lose your head. And then it's just a case of sticking him on one of the clear bases that I get from Fluid 3D Workshop. There's a link in the description to them as well, guys. A whole variety of bases, clear ones, black plastic ones, all kinds really. And here we go, this is how he looks. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, leave comments down below, subscribe if you're new. And if you want to see what I'm currently working on before it comes out to YouTube, then join these lovely guys, my lovely patrons. And yeah, you get to see exclusive behind the scenes of what I'm currently working on. And many thanks to my sponsors, Easy Roll of Dice and Anycubic, for helping supporting me and making it possible to keep making videos. Okay guys, that's it. Bye for now.